Hi, I want to share a story that I heard many years ago from the late, great Paul Harvey on the radio. And it's today that it makes me think back of this story that he told. And I'm sure I'm not going to do it justice, but the story still, I think, made me really think about what we do and how we act. Well, the story goes like this. Somewhere in the late 1930s in Paris, two gentlemen were sitting outside of a cafe around a table, and he was reviewing some papers, and he stood up and he shook the hand of the artist. Now, the artist was very happy because he was just now commissioned to do several portraits of this highly prominent businessman and his family. So the businessman left, and the waiter came up, and with enthusiasm, the artist said, "Please bring me 2 bottles of your best wine and a big round roll of that great cheese that you just served." And the waiter went away, and the artist looked over, and on a chair just slightly over to the right, he saw a newspaper. And on the very front, on the headlines, big bold letters, it said, "Troubled times ahead." Well, the waiter came back with the 2 bottles and the cheese, and the artist kind of looked up from the table and he said, I'm not going to order those right now. I rethinking my thoughts on this. So the waiter left, took them back, and he, on his way, told the owner what had happened. And the owner went over and he said, "Is there a problem? Did something go wrong? Did you not like what the waiter brought out?" And the artist said, No. It's more than something I just read. And it's something that I'm going to kind of conserve because what I read was troubled times are ahead. So the artist went home. Well, the owner shared in the back room with his wife what the artist had told him, that troubled times were ahead. Well, that got the wife to thinking because she had just ordered this very expensive, elaborate dress for an event that they were getting ready to. She thought, well, I think I have a dress that I can make do with, so she called that dressmaker. And that dressmaker was kind of surprised to hear that she was canceling the order, and she asked why, and she said, "Because troubled times are ahead." Well, this got the dressmaker to thinking about this, and she was a little bit concerned because this was actually going to help pay the rent, and she had ordered this really big cake because her anniversary was coming up, and so she called the cake maker. And she asked the cake maker to hold her order. And the cake maker asked, "Well, why? Why are you not wanting this cake now?" And she said, "Well, from what I understand and what I'm hearing out there, troubled times are ahead." Well, this got the cake maker kind of thinking about this and started wondering more and more about it because, see, now the cake maker was getting ready and had gone through the planning stages and the blueprints for building out a larger bakery because he was trying to expand, and he got really kind of concerned with this new news that he received. So he called his builder and he said, "We want to put this on hold right now. I just can't go through with this. I'm a little concerned." And so the builder said, "Well, why? What's going on?" And he said, "All I can tell you is that troubled times are ahead." Well, the builder got to thinking about this, and that night and that evening he called that artist. And he had told that artist that he's no longer going to go through with the commission pieces of the portraits for his family because, from what he understands, troubled times are ahead. Well, now this kind of upset the artist a little, naturally. He was a little down in the dumps, so he thought he'd go back to his favorite cafe and just order a glass of wine and kind of commiserate. So he went back and he's sitting there and he's drinking the wine, and he looked back over and he saw that paper sitting over there on the other chair, and he walked over and he pulled it up and he brought it back over to the table and he started looking at it. And he read all about how the troubled times were ahead and what was going on. And that's when he noticed the date. The newspaper was 10 years old. We do need to be careful about the things that we hear and verify what is really true.